Recently, I saw a video of a bunch of cops beating the shit out of someone who was lying on the ground and in no position to fight back. They were clearly neutralized as a threat, and the cops just kept on viciously and violently laying into them, continuously bashing and beating this person who was very clearly no longer a threat. This was obviously grotesque. But because this was on the internet, there was naturally an idiot around who wanted to defend it. But you don't know the context. In what context is it acceptable for cops to continuously brutalize a defenseless person who poses no threat to them or anyone else? I recall someone saying, "What if the person the cops are beating just committed an absolutely awful crime?" Even when dealing with someone who just committed an utterly horrific crime, cops should not behave as if they are there to dish out extrajudicial retribution at their own personal discretion. Cops should have incredibly good self-control. Confronted with the worst imaginable criminal, they should remain calm, controlled, and professional. If you can't do that, you just shouldn't be a cop. You don't have what it takes. Cops should not be brutes who go around dishing out retribution at the behest of their personal whims and wishes, with unlimited discretion concerning what it is okay for them to do to a bad person. Do I understand a cop brutalizing a horrible, horrible criminal? Sure I do. But that doesn't mean I think it is okay for cops to be acting on such emotional impulses. If you can't control those impulses, you should not be a cop. It is that simple. Cops need extremely good self-control, and violent brutes who apparently lack any self-control or understanding of where their power ends should not be cops. I don't care who they are brutalizing. If your self-control isn't strong enough to stop you from personally enacting extrajudicial retribution against a criminal, you just shouldn't be a cop. The idea of wanting to live in a society where cops have unlimited discretion and can engage in extrajudicial retribution to whatever extent they regard as emotionally desirable is so incredibly irrational and absolutely unhinged. If you believe that it is okay for cops to personally partake in retribution, you don't believe in the rule of law. The rule of law is based on consistent, predictable patterns and processes, the right to a trial, and limitations on the power of legally significant individuals. You do not believe in law and order if you think it is okay for cops to personally take dishing out extrajudicial punishment into their own hands. This is completely antithetical to the idea of predictable, consistent legal processes. This is completely antithetical to the right to a trial. This is completely antithetical to limited discretion. This is completely antithetical to the rule of law. The people who advocate this kind of thing, and the cops that enact it, are mindless idiots who want to see the rule of law be utterly destroyed and a system of unpredictable brutish violence and cruelty rise in its place. They want to replace the courtroom with roaming brutes with not a bit of self-control and a great deal of cruelty and sadism. Justice should not be dished out in line with the emotions of roaming brutes. It should be dished out in line with predictable, clear, and consistent processes which have been rationally designed. The power of individuals should be limited, and everyone should get a trial. Regardless of the context, cops brutalizing criminals is entirely unacceptable, and any cop who engages in such behavior should firstly find themselves in prison, and secondly be regarded as an example of serious failures of police recruitment, training, and culture. Such actions are indicative of a cancer within policing, a cancer that needs to be torn out, and no context will change that.